Hello, and a very warm welcome to the Daily Grind here on Latte Firm. It is Monday, the 29th of September. What a wonderful 24 hours it's been, Arsenal fans. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, a Gabriel Magalhaes injury time winner got us to 3 points at St. James's Park yesterday. 2-1 victory, and we have been bouncing as an Arsenal fan base since. In fact, this time 24 hours ago, yesterday, we were 1-0 down, trying to edge our way back into the game, desperately doing all the mental gymnastics about what's the media narrative going to be, what's the rival fan base going to be talking about Arsenal. But in the end, Mikel Merino and Gabriel Magalhaes. We're going to talk about why we are serious and what this means for Arsenal in this year's title race. And I'm delighted to be joined by my good friend Dobbo. Welcome. How are you?
Oh, mate, I'm good. I'm glad to still be in the house because the way I celebrated that winner yesterday, I thought I was going to get booted out by the missus. She was like, "Why are you screaming so loud?" I was literally doing slaps of the living room. I was knee sliding all over the place. The way I screamed at that TV, the neighbours must have thought something was up. But yeah, I'm doing very well and even better after yesterday.
Honestly, what a win. What a performance. Now, Dobbo, you normally go to every game home and away. You're obviously busy with sort of working recently, and likewise had a ticket up until Saturday afternoon, gave it to one of our Patreon members who, of course, went and had the time of his life. Aiden, if you're watching. And that reminds me, a very warm welcome to our channel members as well. Dave and Vlad have just caught my attention. Welcome to the show. Get involved in the chat. Just release the endorphins. I guess what I want to cover tonight is it was a great win. There were some standout performances. We've done the match reaction video, did an on the whistle instant reaction with James as well, which was wildly fun. Couldn't really cobble our words together, but it was really good fun. Check those out if you're watching. It's on the channel feed. But I want to talk about individual performances. I want to talk about what it means for us, Dobbo, in the grand scheme of things. 13 points out of 18. Is it a good enough return to go on to sustain this league title challenge and win us this first Premier League title in over 20 years? That is the agenda of tonight's show. James is in the house. Jay, Mike, DJD10, KSSNYW says, afternoon, FK, Dobbo, and chat. A wonderful, wonderful day. Lael says, FK, hopefully that's your name, Lael Mirren. Love your authenticity, especially when you get giddy. Your love for Arsenal is so true and authentic. Thank you. I really appreciate that, mate. We are serious, and FK is serious. The content is coming at you fresh once, twice a day sometimes. What is there not to like? Hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. Right, straight into the slides, Dobbo. Of course, it was a glorious day on Saturday, a generational hate watch. I mean, let me just pinch myself and make sure this weekend actually happened. Talk us through what you watched on Saturday and how match of the day must have felt for you.
Well, honestly, I had a hate watch special on Saturday. So I was in Berlin with work for the weekend, and I had the whole of Saturday off. The Ryder Cup was on. The football was on all day. It was the Madrid derby. So I found the best sports bar in Berlin, and I was there all day, hate watching from start to finish, watching the Ryder Cup, watching literally every game of football with Man United fans, Liverpool fans, all over the sports bar, and wildly celebrating in front of them when the goals were going in. So it was a fantastic day. And then to top it off, Spurs drew as well. Chelsea losing. It was just like the creme de la creme, icing on the cake. And then we knew that we had, sorry, the phone's going off. Give me 2 seconds.
No problem. Live production. And just while you do that, Dobbo, I've just noticed a really sad message. Shivank Shekhar says, hello, FK. My mother is battling for her life. Looking forward to the show to cheer me up. Shivank, mate, some things are much more important than football. I really appreciate your kind words. And of course, you tuning into the show. We wish your mum all the very best, of course. Thoughts at a very, very sad and challenging time for you. Reach out if there's anything you need. My DMs are open on socials. Without trying to come across as insensitive and sort of moving back to the football, Dobbo, but Shivank, let me know if there's anything we can do. You were saying, phone call interrupted you, but you were off, or you had the day, you went out and sort of enjoyed it all.
And I'll send you a picture of this sports bar earlier. Literally, it was like, at one point, it was like a sensory overload. There was the Madrid game, the Liverpool game, the Ryder Cup, the women's rugby final. And I was looking around like, oh, where do I look? It's like I needed eyes everywhere. But it was a sensational day of hate watching. Let's just put it that way. I'm very happy.
Paul James, welcome to the show. I have never been as angry as watching a game on TV as yesterday, or more proud of my team today. I mean, it was an emotional roller coaster. Like I said at the very start of the show, up until about 80 minutes, 1-0 down, feeling sorry for myself, down in the dumps, thinking about all the narrative, thinking about, is this another year that's just going to go by? And then the response of all responses at a ground that's caused us much pain over the last few years, Dobbo. Really pleased to get the win at St James's. KSMYW says, Dobbo's audio is a little bit crackly. Don't know if there is a simple solution. Dobbo, if you could just check your audio connections, make sure that everything is fine and dandy. Shivank is getting a lot of love in the chat. Best wishes to your mum, Shivank. Very, very sorry to hear about that. Look at the community sort of budding together. Again, like I say, let me know if there's anything you need, man. Just DM me on the socials. And La Danielu says, big up to FK and Dobbo. Such a brilliant weekend. I mean, I couldn't believe what we were watching on Saturday. It all started with Manchester United going and embarrassing themselves away at Brentford. Chelsea at home, of course, getting pumped by that guy Welbs' Brighton. 2 goals from Welbeck. Absolutely sensational stuff. Then the late winners, nothing like it. And then Liverpool to go to Selhurst, and they were 1-0 down. And at half time of that game, I thought to myself, Palace should be at least 5-0 up. I just couldn't believe it. The fact they were only 1. And then I realized that Arne Slot was going to do what he does, which is the overload, and Chiesa comes on, and young Rio comes on, and Chiesa then got the goal. And I thought, oh my God, not again. And they're going to go and get the winner, as we've seen the dagger so many times already this season. But it was a dagger from Eddie Nketiah. Now, you'll know Dubbo. He is a player that I've not really had much time for, I've got to say. But he deserves all the credit, all the praise, because what a goal and what a moment for the young forward.
Yeah, it was a big moment. I don't know if the audio is any better. I've tried to switch the audio source, so
it's better now.
But yeah, it was a big moment, and I'm just very happy. It feels even sweeter when it's kind of a Haylender ex-Arsenal player that is doing you a favour, but not just for the sake of Arsenal, but they're doing it for themselves and putting a statement on their name. And it was a real poacher's goal as well. He was in the right place. The finish was absolutely excellent. And yeah, very, very happy. And it gave them 0 points compared to our 3. So Liverpool, we're coming.
We are coming indeed. KSSMY has given you the seal of approval. The audio is now perfect. And Rush, wishing Shivank's mum all the best. All the best to your mum, Shivank. May our prayers be answered for her recovery. I hope so. Dave says, very rarely do I watch Match of the Day on a Saturday and Sunday and enjoy both this weekend. And Karen sharing her love for Eddie. I'm so happy for him and so happy for us. Let's move on to us then. I want to talk about yesterday's performance. I mean, obviously, what a win. Before we talk about Declan Rice and some standout performers, Dobbo, just tell me what the win at St James's Park means to you as an Arsenal fan, because it's been a while since we've gone there, not only play well, but deserve to get the win and then actually get the win.
Yeah, I think it was a statement, because I think especially in the last couple of years, it's almost seemed like a real big mental block for us to go to St James's Park, where they're always up for it up there. That's one thing that you've got to give them credit for. They're always up for it, the fans and the players. And they go physical, they go man for man, they press hard. They get behind everything. And we've not crumbled, but we've not played to our strengths and shown kind of who we are and kind of stood up for ourselves in St James's Park before. And I think especially the fact that it was on the back of such a good Saturday of results for us in our favour, that you have to capitalise. And I think that's one thing that we suffered from last season, is we didn't capitalise when there were a few opportunities that kind of came in the middle of the season. But we showed our character. We kept going. I thought the team selection was excellent. I thought the players played well. We deserved to win. We didn't just go there and snatch a win. It looked better, or it looks like we snatched a win if you just looked at how the game played out. But we didn't snatch a win. We deserved that win. And yeah, the players, I think they showed that they're ready for this title fight. They're ready to bring it to any team, any time, any place. And yeah, I'm very, very proud. And it's just a huge, huge statement.
Likewise. I mean, you get weekends like this at the back end of the season, don't you, when one of the teams in the title race may drop a point or may drop 2 points, and then the pressure is on the other team the next day or the following week to go and respond. For us to see Liverpool crumble the way they did on Saturday, and then all of the pressure on Arsenal to go to Newcastle, a ground that's been a real nemesis for us. And, you know, we know that the pressure was on. Rival fans were licking their lips. Liverpool fans were tuned into that, expecting Arsenal to drop points, and to then come away with a win and do what Liverpool have done over the last few games. Yeah, that sort of last minute, late sort of injury time dagger. Very, very pleasing. Let's talk about individual performances, because Gunny Gooner has just said in the chat, Declan Rice's performance was world class. What a player. These graphics courtesy of our partner Optra Analyst. You can see Declan Rice's open play touches, the heat map there on that bottom right hand side. But what a gargantuan performance from a wonderful midfielder, Dobbo.
Yeah, I thought he was very, very good. And I think for me, he's not quite been at the level so far this season, kind of at the start of the season. But I feel like yesterday was the game where he kind of said, yeah, I'm here for the season. I've arrived. Let's step it up. And that's what the best players do when they're not quite hitting that form, when the pressure's on, when you need someone to step up and be a leader on the pitch and give it everything. That's what Declan Rice does. And he was sensational yesterday. Just the ball in for the equaliser. One of the moments that stood out to me in the 98th minute, Harvey Barnes was kind of breaking down the left wing, and the way he just got his body across, protected the ball, and then cleared it. It's big moments like that. You could see he was being very vocal in the midfield as well, kind of commanding players. After Marino scored, the way he went up to Marino, did kind of that little chest bump, and then went, all right, let's go and win this. It was that the players, they could smell blood yesterday. They knew that they were going to get that winner, and Declan Rice kind of just encapsulated that with his performance yesterday.
Yeah, look, we know he's an endurance athlete. He eats up the grass. He covers the ground so easily. I mean, you can see touches all over the pitch there. And the sort of redder the colour, the more touches in that sort of zone, I guess, on the map. And he's touching it deep. He's touching the ball sort of high up top, left, right, centrally. Warriors performance, and I'm so pleased because all 3 goals yesterday came from set pieces, but Declan Rice's deliveries for the first one, of course, Odegaard getting the second was sensational, and just so happy for him. I think he's entering, or he's about to enter his peak years, and it's really important that we benefit from that. Let's talk about some other standout performers. I want to start with Jurien Timber, because I think yesterday is a sort of game a performance like that goes unnoticed, because everyone talks about the goals and the way that we came back and the sort of injury time winner. This guy goes about his business, Dobbo, like an assassin. Like he just does the job every time. He's so reliable. He works so hard. And I wish, and there probably is still a bit of development in his game in that final third. I wish he was better in the final third. But what I see from him defensively, availability, playing through pain, this is a warrior. This is the unsung hero.
Yeah, I think he's a player that's kind of absolutely adored by every Arsenal fan, but maybe necessarily we're not as vocal about it sometimes. But yeah, like you said, it's week in, week out. It's not just yesterday. Every week he is dropping a minimum 7 out of 10, and he goes about it quietly. He comes on the pitch, he does his business, does his speaking on the pitch. He's respectful off the pitch. He seems like a good guy. But he does the business. I think defensively, I'd argue he's probably the best right back in Europe at the moment. You could argue potentially Hakimi is probably the best right back in Europe in terms of what he's got on both sides of his game. But defensively, he's a 1v1 monster. He's so press resistant. Physically, he's so capable. And we've got to remember as well, he's been doing this since last season when he came back from an ACL injury. He didn't just come back from a light injury. He stepped into the team after having a serious ACL injury. He's been available and he's been superb the whole time. So like you said, he's a physical specimen, and I absolutely love the guy. We're so lucky to have him.
We are indeed. D-Day Spring says Timber is a trusted personnel entering a cult hero status with his performances. I hope this crop wins the best trophies. Just got to be careful about his load. I know we've talked about that for a while. Ben White, of course, coming back from a couple of niggles, did play a few minutes against Port Vale. Need Ben White available throughout the season just to take minutes out of Jurien's legs, but what a player on his day. The next one, Victor Gyokeres. Look, I've talked about the penalty and the VAR farce on the match reaction video, which you guys can check out on the channel feed. Don't really want to dwell on that too much, but I came away, Dobbo, thinking that I thought Victor Gyokeres' performance was outstanding yesterday. I know he's not got the goal. I know he's not got the assist. But what I see from those relentless runs in behind and constantly trying to bully the sort of defenders, and there were times when he was being grappled with and thrown to the floor or hands on mouth. And, you either get strikers who would then just sort of hide, be shy, and just sort of fade. But the guy wanted it, and he wanted more of it. He's a bit of a lunatic, and I love that about him. And so the connectivity, the familiarity with the team and the attackers is all going to come to a point where he just explodes, I feel. What did you make of Victor's performance?
Yeah, I think in terms of his all-round game, I think yesterday was definitely his best performance in an Arsenal shirt so far, which is a good thing, because I think it was better than when he scored his 2 goals against Leeds at home or his goal against Forest, respectfully. I think, with someone like Gyokeres that when the ball falls to his feet and he has that chance, he's going to put it in the back of the net a lot of the time. But for me, it's also about being an Arsenal striker. It's about everything else as well. It's about getting the goals. That's what we've been crying for. It's not necessarily like having someone like Kai Havertz who scores the odd goal now and then, but he's not quite as clinical as you want to be, but his all-round game is good. We want someone who his all-round game is good, and I think it's improving week on week, and I think yesterday was his best performance in terms of that aspect, linking up the play, constantly being a threat, coming in behind. But we need a goal scorer as well, and Gyokeres is the man that I hope can offer us both. And I think yesterday, like you said, some of the deft touches and the way he held up the ball and kind of got some attacks going yesterday, I thought was absolutely superb. Like you said, he's up for the battle as well. He's looking fitter and fitter every week, I think, as well. And I think it's one of those players that once he's fully adapted to the English game, because it does take time, no matter how physical you are as a person, it does take time to get used to the intensity of the Premier League. And I think we're starting to see that with Gyokeres now. And yeah, like you said, his willingness to run in behind, he stretches the defence. I thought his touches were better yesterday, the way he was building up with the play. I think the understanding with the other players, where they're going to be, where they're going to be running off. He's starting to kind of unlock that now. And yeah, I was very impressed with his performances. So I think if he keeps that up, the goals are going to come and it's going to make the team better. So I think we're going to a good place.
No doubt about it, my friend. I think his fitness is on the rise as well. Dobbo, we're getting a little bit more crackling from your audio if you just adjust them or whatever you did last time. My final thing on Victor Gyokeres is that I love the fact that he's present, that he always wants the ball. It doesn't matter what happens, and if he's physically sort of embarrassed or thrown to the floor, or if the first touch is horrendous and it goes out for a throw, he just wants it again and wants it again and wants it again. I think that shows a real mentality monster. There's one thing that I'd like him to work on. Obviously, that people have talked about his first touch, and it's a little bit heavy, but he's just got to get used to the pace of the league. And talking of pace of the league, I think he just needs to shoot first time. I think there was that ball from Max Dowman that he got through at Port Vale, where I'm not going to be critical of it, but like the ball was just played into his path, and I would have liked to have seen him just shot at the moment it bounced. And yesterday there were a couple of times I think he slipped in one occasion in the penalty area, but I'd like to see him shoot on sight a bit more. He's not going to get time to breathe in England. He knows that. He's been here before. He's played in the Championship, but I want him to get shot away really early. But what I see, I love. Ads, he says Gyokeres hasn't had a proper one-on-one chance yet. Well, of course, he went through yesterday, was brought down, should have been a pen. D-Days Bring says the guy is learning so much from the coaches. It's evident on the pitch, and the connectivity with the people and the players is getting there. The players are looking for him now, and they're finding him, and that's going to be really key. Butterflies are souls says, hello, you lovely, lucky people. FK and Dobbo are going to do it. I really appreciate that, man. And Big Time 2023 says, glad to not be listening to Arteta doomers. Keep up the positivity. Plenty of channels out there for that, my friend. So we will try and keep it as positive as we can. Last standout performer before we talk about Gabriel, the set piece monster and the title race. Martin Odegaard coming on as a substitute. 19, 20 minutes, I think he had as a cameo. In fact, Paul's just said that. Odegaard had 19 minutes and it was best performance that he's seen of his in 3 years. What did you make of the skip?
Sensational. And I think Eddie Howe as well in his post-match press conference. The one thing I like about Howe is that he's very honest. He says it as it is. And the way he spoke about Odegaard in his post-match press conference when he was asked about him, he said he was the player that changed the game. And I think that he did as well. It was every time he got the ball, he was looking up, there was intensity. You knew that he was trying to unlock something. And kind of sometimes Odegaard has been criticised for shying away. He didn't do that yesterday. He came on back from an injury. He said, I'm the captain of this football club. Let me drag you over the line. And he did that. That pass yesterday to Lewis Skelly. Oh. I know it didn't quite come off for Lewis Skelly. That was through no fault of his own. It was a good bit of defending from Newcastle. But just having that person that can unlock a defence with one pass, and the fact that we had him and Eze on the pitch, you don't know where it's coming from anymore. You don't know where you're going to get unlocked from, how you're going to get unlocked, but you know you're getting unlocked. And hopefully now Odegaard can stay fit. He's been unlucky with his shoulder injuries, and hopefully he can kind of really take this with a spring in his step and continue how he had those 19, 20 minutes in Newcastle yesterday. He was fantastic. Very, very, very happy.
I don't want to be critical of Odegaard because I obviously love the player. I think sometimes he can go missing in games and he does get a little bit shy. And I thought 19 minutes, interesting. Let's see what he does. I thought he was absolutely awesome. Back to his brilliant maestro best. The through ball, Vlad noticed to Miles Lewis-Skelly. There were a few combinations yesterday where we ended up having chances or sort of, clearances for a corner where I thought, wow, our football's becoming fluid and one touch and we're moving it and we're getting better and better. You forget, with 8 new signings and 4 or 5 of them playing in the starting 11, there's a lot of change there. Players have to get used to each other. Playing at Conley is one thing and playing in a competitive game away at Old Trafford and Anfield and St James's is another. Aaron says Odegaard 2.0 is going to be fire. And is there a midfield? I mean, you talked about Eze. D-Day Spring says, is there a world where Odegaard and Eze play together in midfield? I mean, I absolutely think there is. My thoughts on Eze, I love, again, what I see. He demonstrated in that first half, Dubbo, exactly why we signed a player like him. Shoots on sight, plays in between the sort of lines and finds those little pockets of spaces and likes to connect the players. Really excited about Eze. You?
Yeah. Yeah. I love the guy. And you can tell, like, instantly he just kind of, he gets it as well. You can see that he wants it. He's always demanding the ball. The way he just floats into those pockets and just loses his defender, it's impressive. And like you said, shooting on sight, he could have had 2 goals yesterday if it wasn't for an excellent Nick Pope. I must say that first save was unbelievable. Yeah. But yeah, very, very happy. And the fact that we can sit here and be talking about the fact that we've got a player like Odegaard and a player like Eze surrounded by players like Saka, Gyokeres, Martinelli, Madueke when he's fit, Trossard. We're in a good place, man. We're in a very good place.
This is key. Ife says, hopefully that's how you pronounce your name. Not having the entire burden of progression and penetration will do wonders for Odegaard. Can't wait to see the best of him. And here, let's start this movement now. Odegaard. That's it. Odegaard. That is the partnership. That is it. La Danielu says, Eze is so majestic. His 1v1s fake step is elite. Defenders just can't cope with his acceleration after it. I love Eberechi Eze, and I'm just loving everything that I'm seeing. I'll tell you somebody else who I love, Dubbo, and you'll fall in love. No, I'm not going to do it. Another set piece goal. And I mean, obviously the timing, the sort of sheer occasion of it, the opposition that we were playing, fantastic. But look what Nico Yova's been up to. 36 goals. 36 goals since the start of 23-24 from corners, Arsenal. The next nearest team, 15 goals away. Big Gabby, as D-Day Spring says. Tell us about it.
Yeah. I just love it. And it's the way that he celebrates as well. It's like him and Saliba, like they've got that chemistry on the pitch, and they've also got that when they celebrate. Like the way they celebrate is just like, it just gets you, doesn't it? It gets you pumped up. It gets you fired up. He was kissing the badge yesterday after the celebration. I was screaming at the TV. I was there in that moment in the corner on the pitch with them. But yeah, he's just a monster, isn't it? And he's one of these players that relishes these tough physical games. One thing I must say is I do think that he was not at fault, but he played a part in us conceding that first goal. Yeah. But at the same time, it's one of those where he did that, but he stepped up with a big moment at the end, and it makes up for it. You need those players with that character where they don't go, oh, I've made this mistake, I'm going to let it get me down. No, he's straight back in. He's straight back in with the battle. And yeah, he's just, the way he gets up at a corner, it's just inevitable. Dan Burn, the like 8-foot monster, was standing next to him, and there's nothing he can do about it. It's just phenomenal. He comes up with big goals in big games all the time. And the day that we see him lift that Premier League trophy, it's going to happen. We're going to get there.
I can't wait. I mean, you talk about he does it time and time again. He scored. He's almost doing a stadium tour of his goals. You can see on the left-hand side. You remember the one at White Hart Lane? He scored at Stamford Bridge. He's obviously done it at the Emirates so many times, and now, of course, at St James's. What a player! And so many people have said in the chat, and the Etihad, and like so many people have said in the chat, those contracts were crucial. We've got them for years. Absolutely right, Aaron.
And Anfield as well.
Celebrations. Sorry, go on.
He's done it at Anfield as well. I'm just remembering, like, literally, it's just like, I'm thinking big game after big game. What he's scored against pretty much all the top 6 now.
Yeah, well, there you go. Set piece again, ole, ole. I can't wait. I love it. Let's round up with the points return and how serious we are for this Premier League title race. So look, we won the game yesterday, 2-1. It was about at this time that Gabriel Magalhaes rose and smashed it home with that bullet header. What a time to be reflecting on the game. And of course, that does mean, Dobbo, that we have closed the gap to Liverpool by 2 points. You can see, courtesy of Now on the Score, Arsenal on the right-hand side. Liverpool are top, played 6, won 5, 15 points, lost 1, of course, to Palace. Arsenal have played 6, and we've had a couple of wins and a couple of draws and a defeat and blah, 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 blah. But we're 13th place at the moment, 2 points behind. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I'm not... I wouldn't say like I'm over the moon, because you've always got to be ambitious and want to win every single game, because I think that's where we are in terms of the ability of the squad. But I think we're in a good place, especially after yesterday. I think that was a big, big result, and it looks much better on paper now than if we'd walked away with even a point. It would have still been like, okay, it's a kind of semi-average return. But we're 2 points up on where we were in these respective fixtures from last season. We've now got, So I think we was a point behind, but obviously we lost at Newcastle last season, and we now gained the points. Where we gained points at Old Trafford, we gained points at Newcastle, we dropped a point from Liverpool, and we dropped 2 points from City. So I think we're up 2 points compared to the respective fixtures last season. And when you look at the fixtures that we played, it's been a really tough start to the season. We've now got Anfield out of the way. We've got Old Trafford out of the way. We've got St James's Park out of the way. We've got City at home out of the way. Those are four tough fixtures. And when you look at first 6 Premier League games, there we go. So it's tough. And when you look at our next kind of 5, 6, they're not necessarily we're going to win them all, but they're all games that I expect us to be winning, and that will put us in really, really good stead. So yeah, I think it's a good return. I think we've had some good performances in there. And I think yesterday was the one where it kind of feels like a kickstart to our season, and I really hope that it is.
There's a lot of people in the chat that are talking about it. This is the type of game, it says Logical Nonsense, to give the team momentum and confidence to win against anyone. And there is a point there, actually. I think it does give you that inner belief that, you know what, you might be trailing with 6, 7 minutes to go, and you can still get one. And you know what, even if you get one, you can still go for the kill and get a winner. It's kind of like what I was saying against Manchester City. I know we equalised so late, but I think, you know, after Martinelli's goal, had we maybe have not sort of celebrated and gone straight back to the centre circle, because we had them on the ropes and we were battering that door down. And again, yesterday, really pleased Mikel Merino didn't have to go all the way to the corner flag and do his little spirally thing. Get back to the centre circle. That's what Declan Rice was saying. And let's just go for the kill. And we got it in the end. And to your point, Dobbo, 6 really tough fixtures. We all said at the start of the season or during pre-season that these were the 6 that were given to us. You probably couldn't have picked a tougher sort of combination of 6. I mean, you could have, but you get what I mean. United away at Old Trafford is maybe not difficult for most clubs these days, but there is some sort of voodoo on there for us. Leeds United at home, you know, back to the Premier League, back to the big time, their first day out. It's really unpredictable, although we smashed them. Liverpool away, an extraordinary free kick. Deciding the fixture. Forest at home, we won. City at home, I feel we could have got more. It felt like a loss, even though the manner of the game meant that we rescued a point right at the death. And yesterday, just tremendous, really tremendous. I think it puts us in really good stead. And I will say this, I don't think we're going to have another run of 6 league fixtures as tough, as intense as this in the rest of the season. I think up until like Christmas, we're away from London in the league like twice or something, which is crazy. So we're not traveling much. We've got the Champions League, of course, but even those, you've got Atletico Madrid at home, Olympiacos at home. So really, really pleased, and people are getting excited about the upcoming fixtures, which is fantastic. So my closing question to you, Dobbo, is, are we the real deal? Is what you see from this Arsenal team and squad and manager, in the way that he's rotating and almost learning on the job, and the way that we've been about our transfer business over the summer, is this going to be the year, Dobbo, that we can finally get our hands on the Premier League trophy?
I hope so. I think it's still one of those where we're 6 games into the season. I think we need to keep proving it week in, week out. We need to speak on the pitch, and we've got the squad to do it. We don't just have a starting 11 to do it. We've got a squad to do it, where we can utilise that squad across the season. So I'd like to say yes, and I do genuinely believe that we're very, very well set up to really compete this year. And it's one of those that if you keep banging on the door and keep banging on the door and keep banging on the door, eventually the shackles will break and that door will come down. And I think that's where we are. But once again, it's one of those that we can only do our speaking on the pitch. So let's see how we kind of push on from this now. But there's no better motivator. We're in a good place. Let's get it.
Let's go get it, indeed. Listen, I think we're going to end it there. If you are on Patreon, I will have a couple of tickets for the Olympiacos game on Wednesday, so watch out for that message. If there are multiple takers, we'll do some sort of a draw tomorrow. We'll do a preview show tomorrow night. That is when we will be back with a daily grind. If you've missed out on the On The Whistle live reaction video, it is available on the channel feed. The match reaction video, which we did last night, that is also on the channel feed. And then, of course, on Wednesday after the champions, we will be back with a match reaction of that. The content's just going to come. It's just going to keep coming. Yeah, go on. Just one for the road. Quadruple. Who knows? Who knows? And Sir Nicholas says Liverpool can hear the footsteps coming up from behind them. And listen, as Dave says, Dave he's the gaffer here. Like that button on the way out. Please do. We've just passed 26,200 subscribers, which is great. We're on our way to 30,000. Subscribe if you've enjoyed the content. If you want to follow Dobbo, he's available on socials at Dobbo0107. There's my personal handle on screen as well, F Carnage. Look after yourselves. Enjoy Monday Night Football. Let's see what they've got to say about Arsenal's mesmerising performance in Tyneside. Bye for now.